Welcome to Crave the Rave, a naughty podcast for old school ravers who need a fix of the rave. I'm Lady Bizarre.
And I'm Jess the Mess. On each episode, we'll be reminiscing over hilarious, embarrassing, and downright mental stories from our raver days.
Think trippy tales, fezzy fails, and stories from the sesh.
We've seen, heard, and done it all. And we bet you have too.
So join us for a trip down memory lane. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Crave the Rave. Got my girl Jess here. How we doing?
Hello. Good.
Hello.
It's absolutely impossible to do an intro that just feels like natural. Hello.
I know. I always feel like hello. And then I'm like, I want to just be like, yo, yo, yo. I don't know. It's very weird. But here we are. Let's just skip straight past the intro and get into the juice.
Can you tell we've had no training in this?
Oh, we do all right. Just get into the juicy bits because we went out.
Yeah, we finally went out together. I just thought, I can't let Lara go out on her own again. Bless you, you're going to go out on your own. And I was like, I just can't. Bless you, I need to go out with you. So I did, and it was good.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, what actually happened is that I was planning to go to Mira, who was our recent guest on the podcast, to her night at Ministry for Select Radio. Like, she was doing a set. And I was like, fuck it, I definitely want to go along. I knew the music would be good. And then I let Jessie know that, Mira had invited her, but don't worry, I already knew she was a no. And then I just carried on with life. And then the next morning I wake up with a message from Jessie being like, hey, do you want me to come to Ministry tonight? And I was like, what? Like literally, my jaw dropped and I was like, literally replied like, are you feeling okay? And she was like, yeah, well, okay, so what time does it start? Yeah, all right, we can go for a drink first. And I was like, just flabbergasted, really. Jessie was literally like, oh, yeah, I don't know, I'm shocking myself, to be honest, but let's do it. So I was very happy.
Well, I just thought, like, we haven't had any time out together. You're in London. Mira's put us on the guest list. I had a meeting recently with Crave, the Rave and Ministry, and she showed me around the club and I was like, this is sick. So that actually made me think, actually, I could go and enjoy myself here. And then it was good. Arranged a babysitter. Well, my sister had baby D and Ashley was on a night shift. So I was like, perfect timing. So
yeah,
it was actually so fun.
It was.
I'm glad we went.
Oh my God, it was
First
so
of all,
good.
we just went to a bar in Borough Market. We sat and watched the world go by whilst having a drink. That was really funny. Just people watching was fucking jokes. In fact, we got a really funny video we should put up of someone behind us. We were trying to take a photo of ourselves and you can see the person behind us in the restaurant and we were doing voices for him. Let's post that on Instagram.
Oh yeah, we should.
It was nice. And then
Wait.
And then we went down to the club.
Wait.
Really
Don't
fun.
forget the Shell Man, because that was also quite funny. I was like...
Yeah, I mean, bless him, but...
I was practicing having an open heart, right? I'm in my open heart era. And so this guy walks past, I gave him a huge smile. And anyway, he stops and he's wearing a giant shell tied around what Jessie described as a sort of fat shoelace. And then we got chatting to him, but then he stuck around for a little bit longer than planned. And Jessie was like,
he stuck around too long, and
Jessie was like, you deal with this now.
Yeah, I wanted him gone. I was like muttering under my breath, like, go.
You deal with this now.
Yeah. The thing is, I wasn't being rude. It was just that he couldn't speak great English, so it was hard. He was French, and there was a big language barrier, and everything was hard work. He was taking so long to get like one word out, and it was like, and then when he got the word out, it didn't quite make sense. I knew what he was saying, but like, it was just not like a nice, easy vibe. The shell was really throwing me as well.
He was asking for a recommendation of where to go dancing, and I looked at Jessie and I was like, should I say Ministry? And she looked at me like, if you say fucking Ministry, you're going there on your own.
I said we had a work appointment.
Yeah, Jessie.
I said we had a work appointment and that we couldn't bring him with us.
Yeah.
He saw straight through that. He was like, no, I wasn't going to ask if I could come. It's like, you fucking are. You're hanging around asking where we could go. Like, you do, like.
Yeah.
But no, that's funny. And then we headed down to the club, and the club was brilliant, but we were the oldest in there by fucking yonks.
No, there was a bit of a mix, but yeah, I would say like 80% of people were 25 and under, maybe even younger than that.
Yeah.
A lot of youngies.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was all good. You know,
loads of young people.
Good vibes, though. So, I mean, there was a number of things that actually happened that were quite amusing. For example, during Mira's set, me and Jessie were having a right laugh. She was in the baby box, which is actually just a really cute little room, little space. And we were getting really hyped because the music was sick. And I literally fist punched an entire full rosé glass of wine out of someone's hand, splashing the birthday girl. Oh no, wait, what was she? She was the hen. It was a hen do.
A hen do's, I think, like the chief bridesmaid of the hen do.
Yeah, I basically fist punched out of excitement an entire full glass of rosé out of this girl's hand, and it went all over the bride to be, who was wearing like a sash and stuff. And so I had to go buy her a new drink, which is totally fair. And then
we had VIP wristbands, and it just confirmed what I thought: VIP is for pricks. Because I went up there and it was quite nice. It was empty. You had a really good view of the club. The club's fucking amazing, actually.
Yeah,
the lights sick. Moving around and everything. Like, the sound is crispy. It's a fucking great club. But like we had our own toilets, we had other things. But then I sat down and this woman came over and was like, "Oh, you can't actually sit here because you haven't got a table." And I was like, "Oh, having a table in a club, come on. What fucking era is this?" And then I was like, "All right, well, I'm going anyway soon. I'm too old for this shit." And I just made me think, yeah, VIP is for pricks. And then we had a good time, and then I left. I wanted to get the train home, but Lara promised me there was a night tube. So then when I left and I missed my train, I got out, and guess what? There was no night tube. Luckily, as I got to the station and realised that there was a night bus, so I got the night bus home, the old peasant wagon, and endured a whole hour of the bus journey home. But it was fine. It was actually fine. It just took me a long time to get home, and I was ready for bed a long time ago. But no, it was good. It was worth going out for. I did feel hungover yesterday. Drank quite a few drinks of wine, but I wasn't absolutely hammered. But I did feel a bit hungover yesterday. But I had to plough through because I had to take Baby D to the funfair, which is exactly what you need on a hangover.
Yeah, Jessie you had 5 drinks. Oh yeah, Jessie was the only fucking person in ministry to have ever ordered a red wine.
He was gobsmacked. The guy was gobsmacked. He was like, "Red wine? This is Ministry of Sound." I was like, "Yeah, I know. You should fucking have red wine." And he did, and it was actually really delicious red wine. So yeah, I ploughed through 4 glasses of red wine, and I'm normally fine on red, and I was fine. It's just I just felt a bit the next day, because also going to bed at 3 a.m. is fucking late for me.
Juan Fernando on the. I was gonna say on the decks. He wasn't on the decks. He was on the.
He was on the bar.
He was mixing drinks, not tunes, and he was actually sound. I was speaking Spanish to him, and he made me a banging margarita. And actually, I made really good friends with the woman in VIP. She was really cool.
Well, you and the woman fancied each other, so you got VIP. I didn't. I actually got told I wasn't allowed to sit down, and it was fucking empty as well.
It was.
All right, fair enough. If it's packed and these people have booked out tables, but it's absolutely dead, and I'm being told that I can't sit down and have a fucking glass of wine.
I know.
I've got my little wristband on. Don't kick me out. This is my one night out. Let me have a little seat.
Yeah. Anyway, so Jessie left me at 1:30.
So I left, and then what happened after? Because I don't actually know.
Oh yeah, I haven't even caught you up. So quite a few weird random things. So first of all, I just went into the zone. I was on my own for the most part. Mira stayed with me for a bit. We were waiting for Josh Butler, but they moved the set times around, so it was James Fielding, which in my opinion was terrible, and then he was on the main room. Just wasn't my thing at all. I don't know, there was a weird vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, but actually what's so funny is that when me and Mira walked into the main room, listen to this, I kid you not, and I think I got a video, the entire room was doing the conga.
I mean, that's probably why I've not really partied in ministry much. I don't know about that. I love a conga, but not a Ministry of Sound.
Okay, to be fair, the legs weren't going. It wasn't like, hey, like the legs kicking out, but it was, they were walking everyone in a snake around the room. Like everyone had joined in a line, but it was probably about 100 people or more.
I have to admit, I would have got in the line. I would have got in the conga.
I just was like, what is happening? When in the history of fucking raving has there ever been a conga like that? But people were hyped.
But you know what? The crowd are just so different to what we're used to. One, it's ministry. 2, they're young. It also, Ministry of Sound is a place where like a Hindu would go if they're not from the UK and they wanted to go out for a night,
True.
or like not from London, they want a night out, they'd go to Ministry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not real raver type people.
Yeah.
So to do the conga is probably what they're used to at like, I don't know, at birthday parties, but it's not really the crowd that, like, it's quite a sober thing,
Yeah,
Ministry.
yeah.
Like, obviously people are drinking, but it wasn't a drug vibe.
No.
And I've heard that younger people aren't doing drugs anyway, but it wasn't a drug vibe. Everyone was like quite clean cut.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I guess maybe nowadays they get their fix from doing the conga.
It was crazy. I was like, what is happening? But it was
That's
kind of like
mad.
you'd walked into a wedding or like a
Yeah.
birthday party or something. Like it was kind of mad rather than a rave. But yeah, anyway, then
Have you ever done the conga before?
I mean, obviously I must have done when I was younger, but not for freaking years. In fact, I've got a feeling I saw it once at I'm now remembering, like at some illegal party in Guatemala at some point. I think someone was doing it. But again, it's always the young. I think it's always either the young ones or the really old ones, probably like oldies at a wedding or like really young. But you're not really going to get normally people in their 30s and 40s starting the conga. I don't think that is a thing.
Well, I remember doing it at an 18th birthday party and everyone did it.
It does sound like
we went out of the building and back in again. and yeah, we went out of the street and back in again. And then, I think I was like at the front. And then I remember going past my mates that weren't doing the conga. They looked at me like, you're just so fucking lame. And
you're
then,
so embarrassing.
I'm so embarrassing, yeah. And then I taught Baby D the conga on holiday. And it was really funny because we came back and then I was taking her to church at the time, and we got into church and then everyone got up to do the communion, where you actually queued to get the communion.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, Mummy, is everyone going up to do the conga? Are we doing the conga now?
That's so cute.
I was like, funny, no, you don't do the conga around church. I wish you did it, make it so much better.
You got her into Catholic school as well, didn't you?
I did indeed.
Congrats. Well done, well done. Question. No, not question, sorry. Talking of people coming from like around, who maybe aren't from London going to the club. So I started chatting to this guy on the dance floor who had like a crisp white shirt, white sort of chino-y jeans, I don't know, like trousers, open shirt, tan, looking kind of like a little bit only away as Essex, a little bit northern kind of vibes. Anyway, we got chatting and he was like, I've been boxing today. I was like, what, in these clothes? Everything was so tight. Then I was like, how did you even move your arms? He was like, no, I went and watched the boxing. I was like, oh, right, okay. And then he was like, I'm from Doncaster. I'm here just for one night. I said, so have you been to Ministry before then? Like, what do you think of the club? He was like, oh, yeah. Lots of mixed race people.
What?
And I was like,
what?
Such a random first thing to say. I said to him, right.
Yeah, that's really strange.
What made you come out with that first? And he's like, I'm not racist. And I was like, he's like, it's the same around where I'm from, Doncaster. And I was like, okay, mate, sure.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And I said, well,
but
welcome
why does he
to
think
London.
It's okay to say that to you. You could be mixed race, for God's sake.
I know. I said, well, welcome to London, mate. We're a very multicultural city.
Good.
And then I was like, but why would you mention that first? I said, what about the sound system, the music, the vibes, the lights? Like, none of that. And he's like, yeah, of course. So I'm not racist. And I was like, okay, have a good night. Bye. And then this was quite funny. I was having it. So I was on my own for about 2 hours. Mira left about 2:30. I then was like, do you know what? I'm going to stay. I was feeling the music. I got a bit tired, but I was completely sober at this point. Didn't drink anymore. I had four drinks and I just didn't really fancy anymore. And so, yeah, I was dancing right at the front of the booth, as we do. And this guy just came out of nowhere, this young boy. And he went, hey, can we do a snap of us dancing together?
Ugh. My stomach just turned. My stomach just flipped at that. What the fuck?
And I was like, just waved my hands around like, no. He's obviously talking about Snapchat. And I'm like, hey, wrong era, mate. Wrong generation. I haven't had Snapchat since, I think I had Snapchat for like a couple months. And I was like, this is shit. But like 10 years ago or whatever it was that it first came out. But yeah, Snapchat's still a thing, It's actually quite a big thing with the younger generation.
No, I know.
Did you know that?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
In what world is that a normal thing to ask someone in the zone, clearly having it on their own on the dance floor? Like that is, for me, is absolutely wild.
Yeah, that is nuts.
And what's so funny is that he then just like evaporated. I literally, it's almost like I blinked and he was gone. I was like, wow, he's just going around the club just like trying to find people that want to snap with him.
He probably has a girlfriend or something that he's trying to make jealous.
No, I don't think so. I think it's maybe he's got some kind of personality on there. I don't know.
Ugh.
Maybe he's trying to make him jealous, but I didn't get that vibe. It was more
Okay.
innocent than that, actually. Yeah. And then a couple more funny things that happened because I was on my own, so a lot of people wanted to interact with me, but I was actually quite happy on my own.
Yeah.
I walked back into the little room later on, and I was like, "What the hell?" Everyone was like chanting in the baby room, and like I couldn't even figure out the genre of the music. I was like, "What even is this?" It was almost like rap, but it wasn't. I didn't know what was going, but everyone was had their hands in the air and they were like chanting this thing. And I walk in and I'm just like, This guy comes up to me, he's like, "Oh, you all right?" And like gave me a spud, and I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You look confused." And I was like, "Yeah, I am. What's going on in here?" And then he was like, "Oh, are you rolling on something?" And I was like,
What?
No, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck's happening here. And then he was like, "No, but you should be on something though. I'm on Molly, me. Yeah, it's like therapy." And I was like, yes, I'm familiar. I'm familiar with it. I'm just all right now. And then I went out back to the main room and I like the downstairs.
No,
room
you
where
have to
walk
tell
in.
us. So what was the chanting about then?
No, I don't know. I've no idea. I walked out. I was like, I could not figure it out. My brain could not compute what was actually happening in there.
Oh.
It didn't make any sense. Nothing made sense. I was like, get me out of here. To be honest, it was killing my vibe. And then I went back into that room where you first walk in. I think it's called 313 or something. I don't even, 303. Anyway, not the main room, but that good room where we were, where
Yeah.
Alex Rebel was playing. Shout out to her. She was amazing. And then, and Alicia, I think her name is. Fucking unreal. I loved her music. I think her name is Alicia. But sorry if I'm getting it wrong, but she was unreal. Her set went off and I just like lost it to her. She was so good. Her vibes were so good. You know, when you watch a DJ, they're having the best time.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was electric. Loved it. Anyway, and then the final thing I wanted to share was when I was in the zone, I then went into like some hypnotic state. And actually one guy came up to me then and he was just like, "Sorry, I've just got to like, can I have a little dance with you?" And normally I'd be like, "Please don't." Like, please leave me alone. But I was really, like I said, my intention is open-hearted. So I was like, okay. And I like let him spin me around. And then he was like, "So what do you do when you're not being so damn fine?"
Did you like that?
And I was, no, I didn't like it. But rather than be like, "Ooh, get away, you creepy son," I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then I was like, "Oh, I'm in tourism. What do you do?" And he said he was a psychologist. And then he was like, "But the thing is, I think I'm in love with you."
Oh my god.
And I was
What the fuck?
And I was like, "I think you need a psychologist."
Yeah.
So that was an interesting interaction. It was really quite sweet. And I just tried to receive the compliments without being a judgy bitch, basically. And then finally, I was in my zone, and suddenly the DJ, this guy, John, I think his DJ name was Stereotype. I was dancing, and then suddenly he caught my eye. He said, "Come here." He beckoned me to come to that tiny little booth that's in that room. He was like, "Oh, I love seeing you just going for it and doing your moves." Because I was absolutely having it on my own in my zone, loving life, connecting with the music and fucking throwing it down. I was also stomping around the dance floor, just weaving between people. I had so much energy. So I think I was sober. I was actually really.
You weren't sober.
Kind of
You'd had
impressed
quite a
with
few
myself.
drinks.
I'd had 4 drinks and I hadn't drunk anything for about 2 hours.
4 cocktails.
Honestly, at this point, maybe I wasn't totally sober, but I felt sober. Like my
Right.
first drink was 6 hours ago, and then I didn't feel drunk. Actually, I was drinking water. Well, me and you were on a hype one on the train out. We were completely sober then, weren't we? We were completely like bouncing off each other. We could have seemed drunk, so I was continuing that vibe, to be honest. And then he was like, "Oh, do you want a rosé tequila?" And he passed me this shot, and I was like, I looked at it, I was like, "What the fuck is rosé tequila?" And anyway, I was like, "Oh, okay, go on then." Drank it, tiny little shot. Swear to God, it didn't taste or feel like either rosé or tequila. It was like a Baileys.
Yeah, this is a big thing. They all drink rosé tequila. This isn't a new thing.
Are you joking?
This is like a drink that people like go out and seek to get because rosé tequila is like the one. They love it. The kids.
Are you
love
joking?
It. No, I'm serious.
Why
Like
does
the team that I used to work with at my old agency where everyone was really young, that is what they drank. Like, it's a thing.
But why does it look and taste like Baileys?
I don't know, but they fucking love it. Yeah.
I looked at it, I was like, that looks like a thick syrup. And then I drank it, I was like, that doesn't taste like rosé.
No, I know. No, it's not rosé or tequila. It's something else. Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't bad, but I was
No,
like,
it's not
ooh.
bad, but
Anyway,
it's almost like down the route of like an alco pop, but it's not like fizzy and thingies. Yeah, they love it.
it was in a bucket on ice. So I was like, anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, he was sweet. He offered me that, and then he was like, oh, so who you here with? And I was like, oh, all my mates left. And he was like, oh, you're on your own? You're all on your own? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. He was like, come in here. He went to open the DJ booth, which was about 1 meter by 1 meter. And I was like, no, I'm totally fine. I was thinking, the way that I'm stomping around, there wouldn't be any space for me. I don't want to be in there anyway. Like, I don't know. So anyway, I was like, thank you, but no, thank you. I'm good. But he was really sweet. Yeah. So that was that. And then I just oh no, this is how the night ended. So like it was about 4:45. I knew it was ending at 5. And then a random guy, like an old guy who was incredibly drunk, just sparked up a fat joint in the middle of the dance floor in Ministry, right? And I was like, we're not in 2009, mate. Like, that is not going to run, like, for even a second. Then he handed it to one of these girls, bless her, and she decided to take a couple tokes. I wanted some, but I was like, this seems like a risky game. And then, anyway, of course, about 10 seconds later, there's a swarm of security.
Oh, they're fucking stupid. You can't get away with anything in Ministry of
No
Sound.
way. But also a joint, it stunk, and and you could just see the smoke. Like, it was the baitest thing. You wouldn't even want to spark a joint in the smoking area.
What did they expect?
I know,
happen?
but it was this old guy that done it. And then what was funny is they ushered them all out, and then the old guy came to me. He was like, "Oh no, I feel really bad. Listen, is that your mate?" And then he was like, "Well, listen, if she needs to pay anything, tell her I'll pay it." And I was like, mate, we're not in Mexico. Like, you can't be bribing the security. It's in fucking Ministry. That's not where we are or what's gonna run. It just made me laugh because of all the places to do it, Ministry is the last probably place because it's such a like commercial tourist hotspot. You know, it's basically a landmark.
Yeah, you're never gonna get away with it there.
So that was how the night ended, and then I got a couple night buses on the way home. Had a good sleep. Went for a nice dinner last night, and that was the weekend. It was fucking buzzing. It was amazing. I loved every second of it.
It was good. I was hoping that you would actually pull, but when I went out with you, I was going to wingman you. I was like, no way. This is not the crowd for you to pull. You'd be a pedo, basically. So, yeah, it wasn't going to happen with these kids around. And then anyone that wasn't a kid was not okay.
I actually didn't have that on my mind. I was so like into the music.
But I guess that's the thing with raving. Like we've talked about it before in old episodes. Like you don't really have that on your mind when you're raving.
No, but there were some hungry people in there. Like, but what was quite nice, I was deciding, I was like, right, I'm not going to tune into it. I'm not going to tune, because it's quite easy to start to get the ick from the crowd. Do you know what I mean? If you start to feel like a meat market. At one point, I think some guy tried to grab my ass and I fucking nearly sparked him out. Like I was walking through, but I wasn't 100% sure which one of two guys. And I just threw my fist out. I went like, fucking touch me. But I wasn't sure which one of them it was. So I kind of did it in both of their direction. Because that's the one thing that I swear to God, you'll see me switch. I'm a very chill person, but you try touch me up in the rave, walking through, that is the low of the low of the low of the low. Try and grope someone while you try and grab under their ass.
Bad.
It's abuse. It's like actual sexual abuse.
I've had people try and grab my fanny before.
Yeah. No, but it happens a lot. It happens
as I'm walking past. Like, what on earth are you doing?
No, it's pure rapey vibes. It's absolutely
so bad.
disgusting. So anyway, that made me switch. But anyway, then I was like, okay, back in the room. But I was like, no, no one wants to fuck with me and do that because I swear to God, I will actually go sick. But anyway, apart from that, I'm all love.
Yeah, which
love.
is fair. Oh, well, I'm glad. I'm glad that I came out with you. It was really good fun and it was long overdue. And yeah, Ministry of Sound, thanks for having us. It was good. It was really a good night.
Yeah, it was a sick night.
So, I don't know if you've seen in the news recently, but Oasis have done their comeback tour. In fact, it's really fucking annoying because I think I looked at one video and now my whole algorithm is Oasis.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I'm bringing this up because I've got quite a controversial view on Oasis, which isn't agreed with probably the majority of the population, but I know a lot of ravers that do agree with me, which is I just can't fucking stand them. I can't stand their music. I can't stand anything about them. Like, I find their music is so boring. the tune that goes, and maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. Like, it literally goes on and on and on and on and on. And then it does it again, right? It is the most jarring fucking tune ever. Anyway, I saw that people have paid so much money for the reunion, and they what I also find so mad about it, I mean, this is rock and roll. Like, I just feel like it's so obvious that they've come back together just to make money, and then I feel like everyone's paid all this money and they've got like shit views. You're looking at a big screen, and yeah, okay, it's live and live music is amazing, but I just look at these people that are there and think, fucking hell, you just paid an absolute extortionate amount of money to be listening to the music droning on and on and on. And I know that that is my view, and I know that that is obviously going to be different for most people, but yeah, I just wondered what your thoughts on it are.
I just don't really have any opinion on Oasis. I don't really, they're just not really in my thoughts. I don't know, like, I don't know. I honestly just have never been like a fan of that kind of music anyway. I'm not really into
Yeah.
bands. I'm not like, I remember going to uni and a lot of my really good friends love Oasis. And when I
Yeah.
became friends with them, this is when we still had CDs and that, and you know, they would try and educate me because I was open. I'm always open-minded. Like, okay. And they would copy CDs. You know, when you get the blank CD, put it in your
Yeah.
computer and you'd copy a CD, they would put on Oasis. And I think there was like the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Blondie, like these bands. Because I was like my
Yeah.
friend, my good friend Georgia, shout out if you're listening, my love.
She loves all that, doesn't she? She
Yeah,
loves it.
she loves it. She's such an indie girl. So
Yeah.
we would sometimes have to, like, I'd have to compromise. Sometimes we'd go to a drum thing, we'd go to the end and go to a drum rave.
Yeah.
Or I'd have to come along to, like, I don't know, Frog or wherever the fuck they were called, the Purple Turtle, those kind of places in like Camden and stuff, where it would be more of a gig. Cheap drinks, but some screamo fucking band, not my thing at all. But yeah, anyway, so she would copy all these CDs and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to really try and like get into it. And sometimes there'd be like one tune that I could
Yeah.
maybe kind of like get into a little bit, but I was just never converted. I think also, I don't know if this is 100%
No,
true.
I agree.
But I do think that it is a lot to do with like how you grow up and the music that like you grew up around. I don't know, but she had a lot of influence from her parents who loved that kind of music.
I disagree with
so
that.
well, I don't know. That's what I'm just suspecting, because a lot of the people that I met, their parents were really into that music, whereas I didn't really have a very big musical influence growing up. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, but I feel like their parents are into that music. They're into that music because that's in their brains. That's what sounds good to their brains. They've inherited that brain from their parents that like that music. I don't agree with that because me, my brother and sister all have different music tastes, and we had the same parents playing the same music.
What music were your parents playing?
They played everything. I think I said it before. Like, my dad was into like soul. I mean, back in the day, he was into like disco. My mum was into like all like Carole King, and my mum and dad had been into everything all my life. So I've been a cross range of music, and like particularly like all those like 90s like Simply Red and Jamiroquai and all that sort of thing.
Did you just say Jamiroquai again with an A on the end?
Dance music. I think my mum does like dance music, but she never Jamiroquai. And then you give it away. You'll give it away. And then, but you know, I don't think it is that. I think your brain is programmed into a different frequency, and your brain picks up on a frequency, and that's what it likes. Because I just can't get indie music. Like, there was a couple of bands, like maybe like the Arctic Monkeys, that I thought were okay because everyone liked them, but actually now I couldn't bear listening to it. It's so bangy, bang, bang, dong, 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 dong. And like, going back to what we were saying about like before about the binky bonky techno.
Yeah.
Like, people think that like techno is really repetitive. Yes, of course it is, yeah. But like, you can go through a journey with a tune in techno and come out of it another side, you know what I mean? And like, I think people that like indie music go through a journey through that music, but I can't get onto that journey because all I'm hearing is maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me, and I just find it so fucking jarring. People say that about techno, people say that about house music. It's so repetitive, it's so jarring. For me, I love it.
Yeah.
But hearing indie music, it just doesn't do it for me. When I saw all those people, crowds and crowds and crowds of
Well,
people.
you know, my mate and her husband spent 500 each on a ticket for Manchester to see Oasis.
Fucking hell.
Yes. And then they also got tickets in London for 150 each as well. So they're seeing them twice.
So they're seeing them twice. They've paid £650 each to go and see them.
Yes.
That is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Look, I get it. Everyone's got different music tastes, but like, you're going to go and you're not going to see them because you'll be looking at screens. And I know it's about the atmosphere, but like for 650 quid. But I think that's the norm. That's the point that I'm trying to say. Like, loads of people are doing that. Like, people are changing their wedding days. People are like literally selling their souls to get these tickets for Oasis. And I just don't fucking get it.
But you know what's happened? So basically what they've done, which is kind of clever marketing, my mate was telling me about it because she's a super fan, right? So she was like giving me all the intel because I haven't been following this at all. That's what I mean. I'm so checked out. I'm like, Oasis. It's like my brain doesn't even compute. Like, there's no clickbait for me with Oasis.
Do you know who Oasis are?
Yeah, they got that song Superfralacagilistic Experience, right? Something like that. Anyway, yeah.
They say, to me, to you, to me, to you.
No, it's supersonic, isn't it? Supersonic. Oh, do you know what? I actually don't mind a couple of their tunes.
Are you actually serious? Do you think it's supersonic?
It is supersonic.
You know, it's...
Isn't it?
Champagne supersonic?
That's what I'm saying. Oh my God, it's not supersonic. Wait, what is it?
I don't think it's supersonic. It's
wait. Oh my God,
champagne supernova. It's supernova.
Supernova, sorry.
Even I know that, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on.
Fuck off.
Supersonic.
Are you sure? Can you look it up? I think there is.
Oh, right, hang on. Let me just look it up now.
I think there is something to do with Oasis Supersonic. I don't know if I've made that up then.
Super. Oh, no, you're fucking right.
Thank you.
There is something called supersonic. All right, look, we're not Oasis fans. No one's claiming to be an Oasis fan.
But anyway, what she told me was that basically they released only a UK tour. So all these people in the US have bought expensive flights and spent loads on tickets to come over here to the UK to see them live.
Right.
And then once all of that was sold, they revealed that they were doing a whole tour in the US.
Yeah, I saw that. And I also saw that they released more dates in the UK as well after saying that they weren't going to. So it made people pay like extortionate amounts of money for like the top tier ones when the lower tier ones got sold out or whatever it was, whatever way round. And then they actually released more dates. That's what I mean, like... Oh,
that's kind of low vibe.
I mean, I feel like an old lady having a rant about it, but do you know what I mean? Like, you're fucking fooling your fans, and then it's all about making... They were not even fucking mates, for God's sake. They fell out. They need money. And then there's this, like, incredibly large percentage of the population losing their heads over it, willing to pay these extortionate, like, ticket prices to go and see them. And honestly, it baffles me. I don't know why my brain... isn't tuned into the same as everybody else, but it ain't. It's
quite bad. And you know what else? I don't know if you saw this, but you're right, it's like fooling fans, fooling people just for money gain. And what they've done is they've basically made it impossible to sell your tickets. Did you see that?
Yeah.
But then, did you see what happened? Like basically then the people that had already sold them on, like legitimately before they put in that ban in place, people that had bought them, the tickets they bought were completely like void now. So not the fans' fault at all. Like, I get why they're doing that because they don't want these touts to screw up the system. But people will have lost thousands. Yeah, which is fucking just like it's just too much. Like, it's too much.
I'm glad that my brain doesn't tick into everything that everyone else loves. Like, sometimes when people love something, my brain goes, I'm not into that. Even though I probably would enjoy whatever it is, my brain just doesn't want to do what everybody else does. I've always been like that. Yeah, and I do think with Oasis there's an element of that. I do. Like, even people that I know that aren't like super fans, like your mate is a super fan.
Yeah,
like,
she loves the music.
Do you know what I mean? She actually is a big, big, big fan, yeah. But there's other people that would be like, oh, I'd love to go and see Oasis. Why? I just...
Getting on the bandwagon.
I think there's a thing about it where people are like, oh, I want to say that I've seen Oasis, rather than because you actually want to be there to see the live music. Don't get me wrong, if I was there, I'd probably enjoy it. But also, honestly, genuinely, if someone said to me, I've got a free ticket, I'd say no. I'd say, give it to someone that actually wants to go, because it's a wasted thing for me, you know?
I would go if there was like for some reason, yeah, like it wasn't going to go anywhere else, then maybe I would go. But yeah, I think it would be better off given to someone else that would appreciate it.
But I don't want to be the person there going, oh, here we go again, maybe.
Do you actually know any other tunes? Because you seem to only be able to recite that bit.
And so Sally can wait.
That's a good one. I like that one.
She knows it's too late and she's walking on by. I'm just not into dreary tunes. I need beats. I need beats.
Yeah,
that's the thing for me. Beats. Music is beats.
You know, they've done a whole collab with Adidas as well. They've got like bucket hats, the whole shebang, t-shirts, and they sold out in seconds, minutes, whatever, well fast. So yeah,
like it ain't for me, as I've just banged on about. But anyway, good for you guys going. I hope it's good. I hope the weather's nice for it. Like some people, this is your fucking dream, and I get it. And it's no shade. The thing is, I'm not slagging off Oasis fans. I'm not. I'm just finding it interesting that some people could be so into it that they're going twice and paying £650, and people are travelling over from America and all this, and then some people's brains just go, nah, they ain't for me. Like even at like Glastonbury, I had to convince you guys to come to see Elton John with me. He's a fucking G and everyone loved him. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's mad that people have got different music tastes. I said to Ashley, if Glastonbury, if Oasis are on, I'm not going to go and see them. I'll be somewhere else. Or like, I don't go to the Pyramid stage and see all the main acts that, you know, the headliners. They're just not my cup of tea most of the time, other than Elton. He's the only one that I've ever seen at the Pyramid stage.
Elton actually went off. I really loved that. You literally had to convince us though, didn't you? I was like, nah, fuck Elton. I don't want to go. I was like, why Elton? But then actually you got us there, and actually it was a proper moment, wasn't it?
He's a showman. And to be fair, so are Oasis, you know. They are showmen. Yeah. I went to uni in Manchester where everybody fucking loved Oasis. And I wasn't ashamed to say, it ain't my bag. It's not my cup of tea. And when I met Ashley, I think like the next day, shows you what happened the night we met, but the second day of us meeting, he said to me, I fucking hate Oasis. And I was like, this is my man. This is my man. He's unique. He's different. He doesn't like Oasis. Yes. That is the man that I'm going to marry. And I did. And guess what we had as our first tune? Maybe.
The drum and bass version. Maybe. I don't know.
No, of course we didn't. No, it'd be really fucking weird. So that
would be so fucking weird.
Well, I thought I was making a funny joke there, but you didn't laugh. Either that or there's a delay.
I did laugh.
Oh, I've lost you. I can't hear anything. I think our Wi-Fi is really playing up at the moment. So for now, it's cut me out. I've got a thing trying to reconnect.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Keep speaking.
The delay's so bad. When you hear this back, you're going to be like, whoa, okay.
I can hear you perfectly. I can actually see you perfectly.
I know you can hear me, but I can't hear you. What part of that don't you understand? I can't. You can hear me, great. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And it's fucking annoying. Right, lovely listeners, we're going to end it there because I can't hear Lara. She keeps freezing, but apparently she can hear me. I can't hear her. This isn't a fun conversation when it's just one way. So thank you very much. Andy in your van, thanks for your lovely message. We love you all very much. Thank you for listening. Sorry this has been cut off so abruptly, but we're going to try and get some more episodes out very quickly. Love to you all.
She's
Bye.
fuming. She's fuming. Bye. Yeah, she mentioned Andy in a van. We got a lovely message from you, Andy. Thanks for your lovely feedback. We hear ya. Shout out to you, Andy in the van. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye. See you next time.
I don't know what the fuck you just said, but bye.